A real big hack for stories is to look at what's going on in the broader culture and to think about, well, what's that conversation and how can I participate in it? What's the link to your business? The whole world was talking about Rihanna. We were all talking about, her performance, what she wore, how she was pregnant, what she got paid. It was the thing, right?
Yeah.
So if you were a smart business at that time on stories, you might put up something about Rihanna and, just a really easy one. Did you watch the show? And you're just going to be surprised that people are going to be compelled to contribute. People want to give you their opinion. That is a fact.
And I have the amazing Jade of Small Business Growth Club joining me today to discuss 5 IG story ideas for you to use so that you can help find leads using IG stories. It's something that a lot of people don't speak about too much because we put so much pressure sometimes on the actual feed post. Sometimes we forget about the IG stories, and sometimes that's where it's really happening.
Some people love stories. I personally love stories. My absolute favorite surface on Instagram for sure. But on the other side of it, you might not enjoy stories. You might not know what to post in that space. You might not like showing your face. A big one for people, and thinking that you have to show your face. So feeling this kind of pressure that you have to show up.
Now we're going to get to our main topic, which are the 5 IG story ideas that we think businesses should be using.
Number 1, there is a formula for getting the maximum reach with your stories. There's 3 parts to it. The first part is just waiting until you have an empty stories feed. So you know when
I know that
stories,
one.
Yeah. Yep. You know that one. So as someone who's posting on stories, there's a time when your profile icon has a little blue plus next to it. That is a good time to post a story, right? So you want to post your first story to an empty stories feed.
Awesome.
Secondly, for maximum views on that particular story, you just want to leave it to 1 story. Now, the exciting thing is with stories, we now have access to 60-second stories, which is actually a really long time. So what you can do with your stories is you can combine a few little videos, or you can have a longer to camera piece. But ideally, if you want maximum reach for that day and that particular piece of content, then leave it to just 1. That's really important. The final part, add an engagement sticker to that piece of content. So I use polls. Polls are my go-to engagement sticker. I use them like I would, have a cup of tea during the day. I whack a poll up during the day because they're so easy. They're simple. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to worry about. A poll is just like your bread and butter every day. Get that conversation happening. If you think about what we are on here on social to do, it's to have conversations, it's to have back and forth. If you are just constantly like lecturing at your audience, that's not enjoyable all the time, right? Like polls and engagement stickers are the secret sauce to explode your stories reach, your views, your engagement, lead to sales. It is the magic. So that's my big first tip, 3 little tips there.
So that's an awesome one to lead off with, Jade. Awesome. My first one, I'm going to kind of piggyback off of just what you kind of stated, Jade. Instagram loves engagement, particularly when one person could give information to somebody else. And there are certain stickers that do that, and there are certain that don't. Some stickers, they sound great, but they don't really work for that much engagement, like music. Music, I love to add music to my IG stories, but honestly, it doesn't increase the reach of my stories. But when I add polls, when I add questions, it helps boost my content much more than the average that I would normally get if I didn't post anything with a sticker or some of the other stickers that don't really generate data for me, like music. So I think that's something that you guys should strongly consider in regards to engagement, because what that does is you could use it as a business and figure out what your audience wants. Such as if you ask a question, what would you like for me? What colors do you want my product to be in? Your audience could give you information so you don't have to now try to consider it yourself. You're getting feedback directly from your audience that's already engaged with you. So use these type of engagement stickers to kind of poll and survey your audience that could help actually influence your products and your services.
Yep, genius, absolute genius. I love how you apply it yourself. You've seen the results yourself. You're exploring the little kind of variations within stories. I think it's beautiful that you've done that research. The thing I might add to that is if a story poll has worked, or people like to tell you which color they want to see, or which next product you should do, or which variation of the croissant they want to see this week, then do it again.
Yes.
Do it again. You don't need to reinvent the wheel for what works on Instagram. People think that Instagram is about creativity. It's not about creativity. It's about consistency. So give yourself a break. And if something works on Instagram and you get results, do it again and again and again.
I would love to know what's your next one. What is your second tip for IG story ideas?
A real big hack for stories and for Instagram in general is to look at what's going on in the broader culture and to think about, well, what's that conversation and how can I participate in it? And you do want to think about, what's the link to your business, but you might not want to lead with that. So for example, the whole world was talking about Rihanna.
I knew it was going to be, as soon as you were saying that, I was thinking Rihanna.
Right? We were all talking about, her performance, what she wore, how she was pregnant, what she got paid, what Donald Trump said, what the backup dancers were doing, what the track was. It was the thing, right?
Yeah.
So if you were a smart business at that time on stories, you might put up something about Rihanna and, just a really easy one. Did you watch the show? And you're just going to be surprised that people are going to be compelled to contribute. People want to give you their opinion. That is a fact. People love it. So when you give them an opportunity and you put a poll on it, you can sometimes meet them where they are. And you can get responses to your poll because you're talking about that thing that everyone has an opinion on.
Yes, great tip. I'm going to lead off with my last one. If we're looking for leads, why not offer a discount or a coupon for them to act on? And we can do that specifically in our IG stories. So it's a kind of a way to kind of reward those VIP individuals that I mentioned earlier. Reward them with a discount or a coupon to a product or service that you actually offer. So they feel special because they're the only ones that are getting it. It's not spread outside to the entire following, and even to those that don't follow you. They feel exclusive to this. And you can kind of even word the message that way, like, hey, we want to spread the love. Here's a coupon for an offer of 10% or 20% off of our product or service just for you guys. And those that happen to take advantage of that coupon, they're more likely to visit your IG stories more often in the future as well, because they're probably looking for more coupons also. I would say try to see if you can actually spark a call to action for them to actually make a purchase just by using a coupon or a code.
I love that. Getting people to take action. My final tip is to mix up your format in stories. If you are familiar with using your face, that's great. Talking direct to camera is like the editor's letter of your magazine. It is one of the most powerful ways you can compel people to take action. Looking at them in the eye of the lens and expressing what you do with your voice. But you don't always have to show up on camera. And I think that a lot of small businesses, and myself included, we feel exhausted by this idea that a lot of Instagram experts really push down our throats that we have to show up. It's very intimidating to think you have to show up every day. And I want to let you know, you do not. You can mix up your format on Instagram. You can use faceless stories, which is something I do all the time, where I flood my stories with a brand color, and then I use the caption sticker to deliver some kind of words visually. So it looks like some kind of dynamic animation, but it's actually just utilizing the graphic tools that Instagram has given us. That allows me to convey my message in a very personal way, but I don't have to show my face. That's really important. And the other tip, the layout function. This is a really small little option in your stories, and it lets you combine multiple photos in one single story. And this is great because it lets you have a layout, kind of like what Social Varsity and I look like right now. It lets you have a top and a bottom, and it instantly puts any kind of photo in that spot. And then you can pop a sticker, an engagement sticker in the middle, and say things like top or bottom, up or down, coffee or tea, Apple or Android. You can kind of set it up in a way that's very visually compelling and that is irresistible for people to participate on. And it does just mix up your format. It looks professional. It's very fast because it's all in the Instagram app. You don't have to use another app to set up this grid. You can do it all right here. And it does set up this kind of engagement that Heston and I were talking about earlier.
That's a great one because not a lot of people speak on that layout feature, and I haven't seen too many people use it. Awesome tip there, Jade. And there you guys have it. Those are 5 IG story ideas that myself and Jade for Small Business Growth Club has shared with you so that you guys can go ahead and use it and help find leads on Instagram. I want you guys to take that information, move forward, and as I always like to say, step your gram up.